Today's Leeds news: Wober exit looks imminent. Cooper's end of season comments. Bielsa similarities for Farke. Robrozani wants Monteiro. New rules for a new season. And this week's Rumour Mill. Hi folks, Jer here on the 28th of July with your Leeds United news. Hope you're all having a really good week. Nice win last night for Leeds United and nice to see some lovely football. We won't talk too much about the game tonight. We will cover that in the podcast, which is recording tonight, will be available for members on the channel tonight and available for everybody else as per normal on Saturday. Also, just to point out that it is now available as a podcast on Spotify or Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, you can find it there as well. So if you want to your podcast in the audio format, it is now available. In the last 3 weeks, podcasts are there as well if you want to check them out. And a reminder that the draw to win a Leeds United shirt finishes on Monday, so to be in with a chance of winning, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the daily videos for more opportunities to be in the draw to win. Right, we'll crack on with the news and we'll start off with Max Wober. And according to reports in Germany, they are stating that Max Wober's exit from Leeds United looks imminent. Wober has agreed a season-long loan move to Borussia Mönchengladbach in Germany. Reports in Germany were saying that Gladbach were willing to wait until Nico Elvedi had moved on from the club and use Wober as that replacement. They decided to move early and bring Wober in before the sale of Elvedi. It's not clear right now whether there's an option or an obligation to buy in the contract. Currently, it looks like it's a straight loan, but that could change. Leeds will receive in and around €500,000 of a loan fee, which is what has been rumoured in Germany. Let's move on to talk about Liam Cooper's comments last night after the game against Nottingham Forest, and alluding to the comments that were made in the final game of the season last year against Tottenham Hotspur. And just a warning for anyone who has an issue with this, I don't swear on the channel because there's a lot of kids that watch this channel, so won't be swearing, but you'll get the gist of this pretty quickly. So basically, Cooper was saying that at the end of the game against Spurs in the dressing room, he decided to step up and address the dressing room and basically said to players, what he said was, if you don't want to be here next season, then F off. Off you go. So he stated that's the way it has to be for the club going forward, and we need a group of players that are invested in it. He finished off by saying that we've got a group here of players who are committed to that goal. So I'm not 100% sure if they all are. Romano talking this morning about possibly Tyler Adams could still leave and is still expected to leave Leeds and probably head back to the Premier League. So not 100% sure everybody's committed to it just yet, but we'll have to wait and see what happens over the next couple of weeks. The transfer window doesn't close till the end of next month, so there's still a month and a bit left of that window. Also, after the game, talking about similarities between Farkes' style and Bielsa's style, Cooper, again, just pull back the curtain a little bit to give us an insight into what's been going on and what 18 months of a move away from the Bielsa style of football can actually do to players. And basically what he said was the adjustment of Farke took longer than they expected. He said that when he came in, the change back to possession ball was a bit uncomfortable for them. And he said his exact words on this were, it's mad because the first couple of weeks in training, the standards just weren't there. It was a bit alien to us. We'd almost lost that side of our game, having possession and calmness on the ball. But I think you can see tonight that we wanted to play, and I thought the lads were brilliant. They were excellent last night. We'll talk about that more on the podcast tonight. So if you want to get our take, myself, Lockie, Max, Joe will be on the show tonight as well, and probably Kate as well. So you can check them out. And Ollie will be on Ollie Ward on the channel as well tonight for that. So you can check that out tomorrow when it's live. We'll talk about the game in more detail. Moving on, let's talk about potential exits or rumored exits. And Robrozani is busy in Italy with Sampdoria. And according to Italian organization Club Doria 46, they are claiming that Robrozani is keen on Leeds United 19-year-old centre-back Diego Monteiro. Monteiro only came into the side in January last season. It's very highly rated and is only 19 years of age, as I've already said. Apparently, Robrozani sees Monteiro as helping them with their rebuild of the squad for Sampdoria and giving Andrea Pirlo some new and fresh blood. Leeds consider Diego Monteiro very highly and is part of the under-21 plans for the new Premier League 2 season this year. So it'd be unlikely for the player to leave, but that doesn't stop Robrozani sniffing around the players. He will know, again, like Orta, all the contract situations and what he can and can't do with these players. So we'll have to wait and see there. Moving on to new rules for a new season. There's been some, this is the boring stuff, but there's been some significant rule changes for next season that will take effect on Friday the 4th of August when the season kicks off. And we'll rattle through them pretty quickly, but there's some interesting ones that will affect how the game is played and will affect how long the game goes on. And it's been broken up into 3 different categories. There are changes to the rules around additional time, treatment of players, and behavioural situations. And as far as additional time goes, last season, the ball in the Premier League was only in play for 49% of the total available time, which is less than one half of a game, which is shocking. So they've moved to make some change on this. This will also apply in the Premier League. The changes for additional time are now as follows. Time will be added on for goal celebrations, substitutions, injuries, treatments, penalties, will also stop the clock from when the free kick or the penalty is given until the kick is taken. That time will be added on. Red cards from the moment of a foul until the game has restarted. That will be added on as well as more time added for game delays such as kickouts and restarts. It should also be pointed out that more action will be taken against players who deliberately delay the restart of games. So we saw it last year with Everton and Jordan Pickford. Any kind of antics to slow the game down from kickouts and that will be punished by a yellow card this year, which should have always been there anyway. It's time wasting. It's always been a yellow card, but now there's a new rule to reinforce an existing rule that already exists. On the treatment of players, there's some significant changes here, although whether they can be enforced is a different question. Players who require assistance on the field will now receive treatment off the field. If the player can't get up, then he can't go off the field. So we're back to this one that was brought in 1994 about taking players off the park. Apart from goalkeepers' injuries, they will be allowed to be treated on the pitch, as well as goalkeeper and outfield player collisions, as well as players on the same team colliding as well. And if a penalty is given and the penalty taker is injured, that will also be allowed to get treatment on the pitch. Once a player goes off for treatment, they will be made stay off the pitch for at least 30 seconds. They won't be allowed straight back on, as has been the case previously. And if a player declines physio treatment, or if a team clearly delays their restart or refuses a physio, they will receive a yellow card for that as well. In terms of behavioural stuff, we'll start off with penalties, and the Emi Martinez rule has come in. Any antics by a goalkeeper on a goal line to put off a striker will receive a yellow card for that. It's about sportsmanship, I suppose, more than anything else. In terms of penalties all up, if a player makes a genuine attempt to win the ball and gives away a penalty, this time around and this year going forward, it will not be a red card. It will only be a yellow. Red cards will only be given in the situations where a player has shown to be holding a player, pulling, or pushing, or the possibility of not playing the ball at all. So it's cynical tackles versus non-cynical. If it's a genuine attempt to make the ball in the penalty area, you will not receive a red card. But if there is no attempt to play the ball, it'll be a straight red. In terms of offsides now, this is a significant change. Up till this season, if you attacker played the ball through and it took a deflection off a defensive player to another attacker who was offside, that attacker became onside as the final touch was off the defensive player. That rule is now changing. A deflection or an accidental touch will no longer make an offside player active. It now has to be a deliberate play back into that area, so back pass or something like that, but it has to be seen as a deliberate motion back in that direction before that player can then become onside. So there are some significant changes this year that will hopefully speed the game up, will hopefully give more benefit to attackers. There's no VAR in the championship, but it should be said that the VAR change in the Premier League were all turned down by the teams in the Premier League who could have voted to make it better and decided not to. So interesting one. And then finally today, we'll just wrap up with the Rumour Mill. And according to Newswald in Germany, they are claiming that Leeds have joined the race for Anderlecht winger Francis Amuzu, the Anderlecht winger, 23 years of age, been linked with Leeds as well as Luton Town and Olympic Nice as well. Massive rumour. The massive rumour. It's coming from Newswald Sport, but it's also another winger. Leeds are overstocked on wingers, so unless Leeds expect to lose a significant amount of wingers in the next couple of weeks, I would say it's unlikely, and especially 23, it's not another 21 signing, and it's probably not a first team signing. So unless Leeds are planning on losing Sinisterra and Nanto and Somerville and Harrison, all of them, wait and see on that one. Also in the Rumour Mill today, and there's no need to say pinch of salt anymore, we're just going to bracket all this stuff into Rumour Mill territory from now on. Mason Holgate, according to Football Insider, they claim that Leeds have inquired about a loan option for the 26-year-old. Sheffield United and Southampton are also said to be interested in the player as well, but again, it's come from Football Insider. I think we should do at the end of the transfer window is get the list of all the players that have been linked with Leeds, or the actual moves that Leeds have made according to Football Insider, and line them all out and see which ones actually happened. So far, none of them. And then finally, Pascal striked the Club Bruges after 2 days ago saying he's staying at Leeds United. Now there is talk coming out from Sasha Tavaleri, who is saying that Club Bruges are looking at the option of bringing in Pascal Struijk to help Club Bruges next season, or the upcoming season. Again, 2 days ago he said he wasn't going to go anywhere, but will he be first choice at Leeds? Looking to start in 11 last night. I'm not so sure about it. Creswell did pretty well at that right centre back. Cooper at left centre back. It's that question back: do we want to see Liam Cooper start the season or not this season? There's still no word on Nat Phillips. Carl Darlow is expected to be confirmed and possibly unveiled today by Leeds United as well. If not today, probably Monday. Leeds do have a game at the weekend against Hearts as well, as they wind up for their final pre-season friendly before they head into the first game of the season next week against Cardiff. It's coming fast. It's getting closer. The game last night was excellent. As I said, we'll talk more about it on the podcast, but very happy Ian Poveda and Sam Byram. Love to know people's thoughts on it in the comments section, because I thought they were both very, very good. And we'll have to wait and see what kind of team Leeds will put out on the opening day. But it's there's questions for Daniel Farke to deal with now about players who've stepped up over pre-season. So fair play to them. And then I said, podcast will be recorded tonight and be available for members on the channel tonight, and will be available for everybody else on the usual time tomorrow morning on the channel, as well then as on Spotify as well. And don't forget to give away as well. So for sure, there you go. That's all your news for today. Have a great weekend if I don't see you tonight or tomorrow, and I'll talk to you Monday morning for more Leeds. And hopefully will it finally be a busy week in terms of incomings for Leeds, because it just hasn't happened yet. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Be good. Bye.